Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. For today's video, I am so excited to share with you guys 9 different hacks using the Dollar Tree canvas. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit the notification bell button so you can get notified every time I upload. With that being said, now let's craft. From Dollar Tree, I will be using 6 of these 8x10 canvas, which I only ended up using 4.5. And this fence, I recently found this. I am going to remove the plastic from all the canvas and the staples on the back. Now, this is a little bit time consuming, but if you have this stapler remover, it is so much easier and faster. Notice that there is 2 types of frames. One that is easy to take apart, and this one right here that has these things on the corner, so it makes it difficult to take apart. I did grab 2 of those and 4 of the other ones that were easy to take apart, so I'm using these right here, these 4, and the other 2 I am going to just take them apart by removing the stapler that it has in each corner. And it also has a nail, but that is very easy to remove with a plier. I moved to the floor to show y'all a better angle and so y'all can see how big the window is. You can also make this 2 different ways. By arranging the frames vertical, the window is going to be taller and you'll use less fence, versus horizontal, which the window will be shorter and wider and most of the fence will be used. The way I decided to do mine was horizontal. So now with the leftover pieces, I'm going to use 2 of the sides and just place them on top of the fence. So like that, I can mark it, and that is where I'm going to cut it. Now, I did use some scissors. Since this is plastic, it was very easy to cut through. And this is how it looks once I had cut the sides and the little legs. I will be arranging the window first before I start to glue it together. Now, I'm only using hot glue just because of the drying process, plus the wreath I'm using is not even heavy because I made it. Now, if you're adding something heavy to this, I do recommend you using wood glue instead. After I was done gluing the squares, I then glued the 2 sides. Now, to glue the fence, I do recommend you using like E6000 or maybe a combination of E6000 and hot glue, just so like that it can be extra sturdy. I am using Jenga blocks that I cut in half so I can add them to the back, and this is going to just help it support a little bit more. And that is it for the window. Now you can paint this whatever color you like. I'm painting mine using the mixture I have been making in some of my past few videos that I've done. I will have the paints down in the description box. I will be leaving most of the fence white except the top part. I made it look like it was wood around it. So the last thing I did was add a little clear hook and add the wreath. And that is it for this beautiful window cathedral. Alright, so for my next hack, I will be using the leftover wood pieces that I didn't use in my cathedral in these bowls. 3 come in a pack, but I'm only using 2. There were 6 pieces of these left over, so I am going to make 3 larger ones. Now, one of them is bigger than the other, so I'm going to just cut it to size so I have 3 of the same size. And I'm only using hot glue. I'm not adding anything heavy to the bowl, so if you do want to add something heavy, I do recommend you using wood glue instead. Before I paint these, I will be using a scent sheet to send them out. Using the same paint I used earlier, I'm going to paint these. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm only using 2 of the bowls and I'm leaving them white. If you haven't guessed by now what I'm making, I am making a plant stand. To add the bowls to the sticks, you can use hot glue or E6000, and what I tried to use first was the thumbtacks, which I thought it had worked. But once I had both of the bowls on the sticks, they somehow they came apart. So then I decided to just use a nail to nail them down instead. And I said nail, not a nail, I use a screw. Here's where I'm showing you here how it was falling apart, and this is where I decided to just use some screws instead. And that is it for this planter. The next thing I did was just add some greenery. My next hack is very easy and simple, but yet it looks so high-end. Now from Dollar Tree, I'm using 2 of the 8x10 canvas and 2 of the 5x7. Once again, I'm removing the plastic and the staples. The next thing I will be doing is just gluing these together. I honestly wasn't sure what I was making. I just played around with the frames until I like how they look together, and then I glued them, and once again I'm only using hot glue. And that is it. The last thing I did was just paint the entire thing using the same color I've been using. With this piece, you can hang it either vertical or horizontal, but they both look beautiful. For my next hack, I will be making another little planter. Now I'm using the smallest little canvas that Dollar Tree carries. These are 4 by 6 inches. Once again, I'm going to paint this using the beautiful color I made. The frames are going to be the legs of my planter. Now for the planter, I'm using this Dollar Tree pencil holder. And this is the way I'm going to glue them. I thought I was going to be able to just glue the frames on the side of the little planter, but since they were too big, so I decided to just glue it like this under it. The last thing I did was just add some greenery, and that is it for this beautiful little planter. For my next hack, I thought I was gonna use 3 of these 6 by 8 inches canvas, but I only ended up using 2. I'm also using these little wood square plaques that I got from Michael's. This pack of 2 was $2.99. So I will be making a lantern. These little plaques, one's going to be the top and the other one is going to be the bottom. Now I'm going to glue the little plaques upside down and then the canvas right on top. Once again, I'm only using hot glue. I do recommend you using wood glue instead if you're adding something heavy inside. To paint the lantern, you can paint it black, you can paint it white, you can paint it using the Waverly antique wax, but I'm painting mine using the color I made. That is it for this lantern. Now the way I decorated this is I added a little wreath and a Dollar Tree LED candle. Before I move on my next hack, if you guys are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps my channel. Now let's move to the next hack. For my next hack, I will be using the largest canvas that Dollar Tree carries. This 11 by 14 inches and 2 Dollar Tree wood pieces. I painted the pieces of wood the same color. I then glued them on each side of the canvas. Now you have a nice piece of canvas with a wood frame. Now you can add whatever you like to this. I decided to use my Cricut and cut this "Welcome to Our Home." And I'm going to add it to the bottom. Then I'm going to add a small little wreath at the top. Instead of using a clear little hook, I just used a thumbtacks and then just add it to the wood instead of the canvas. Now to hang this, I will be adding a piece of jute twine to the back, and that is it for this beautiful wall decor piece. For my next hack, I thought of making a 3-piece wall decor, but instead I will be making a 2-piece. I'm using 2 of the Dollar Tree canvas, the 6 by 8 inches. I will be making a back to these, so I'm using some large popsicle sticks, and the ones I'm using are from Walmart. I will be using 8 in total, and I'm going to paint them white. So this next step, it's kind of hard for me to explain like in words, but it's so easy and simple to do. Now to glue these, both the popsicle sticks and the frames needs to be facing the other way around. Now the way I glue the popsicle sticks is on one of the frames, the popsicle sticks are going to go one way, and then on the other one they're gonna go the other way. So I started by gluing the one in the center first. And then I'm going to measure and cut the rest of the popsicle sticks. And every time I glue one of the popsicle sticks, I did leave a space in between them. And that is it for these 2 frames, which I think they turned out beautiful. Now I'm going to leave mine blank. You can add a wreath or something in the center, but I just decided to leave mine like that. For my next hack, I'm using a 5x7-inch canvas and this Dollar Tree planter. Now I'm going to start by removing the staples, the plastic to paint the frame. Once again, I'm using the same paint, but for the planter, I am using some white chalk paint. I did give this 2 coats. And look how beautiful the planter looks white. Now I'm using these flexible stencils that I recently purchased at the Dollar Tree. I think these are new because I haven't seen these before. Now I am going to add It's Good to Be Home. And to do this and it doesn't move, I'm going to tape it down. But first, I am going to try to remove a little bit of the adhesive, so when I remove the tape, some of the paint won't come off. The best way to paint this is to use a sponge instead of a brush. I did go over it twice, that's why it bled a little bit, but I still like how this turned out. To hang my basket, I will be adding the piece of frame to the back. To add the frame, I started by adding hot glue first, so like that the basket doesn't move. And then I will be adding some screws, 1 on each side. This is going to make it very sturdy. And look how beautiful this turned out. The last thing I did was add some Walmart greenery. For my next hack, I will be using this 6x8-inch canvas and a small little piece of square dowel, which honestly this is another piece of a canvas. I'm going to cut this in half and then I'm going to glue it on each side of the little canvas. This is going to help the canvas stand up. Honestly, this was a last minute thing. Now after I was done gluing this, I did finish painting the rest of the frame and the other little pieces I added. I will be hanging this little planter. Now this little planter, I made it in my last video. I'll have a link down in the description box in case you want to check it out. And that is it for this little planter thingy. And that is it for these Dollar Tree canvas hacks. Let me know down in the comment section which one was your favorite, because I would love to know. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.